Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my ex-wife, who abducted my daughter, a better custody agreement? My daughter was born 2.5 years ago in California. It was just myself and my pregnant wife with no family to help out. When the baby was born, I asked her parents to come for the delivery, and they said they couldn't come. A month after birth, my wife suffered mastitis and got very sick. Her parents showed up unexpectedly with my wife's cousin. There was an intervention because we were going through marriage troubles at this time. This was during the pandemic when we were both working from home in a small apartment in addition to the pregnancy. Her cousin and parents acted as a mediator and eventually asked me to allow her to go to their home in Puerto Rico for a few weeks. I felt pressured to say yes because we had just went through this heartfelt discussion. As she is packing her things, I noticed she was packing her work laptop and all her important documents. I asked her why because she was on maternity leave and she told me she still has to input time, which I found odd because you usually request maternity leave and no one expects you to log in every 2 weeks to input time. Well, my suspicions were right because later I'd find out she secretly transferred her office to the Puerto Rico area. As those 2 weeks went by, she started changing her behavior and telling me she needed more time for recovery. 2 months went by and she told me she wasn't sure when she will return. Then she started demanding that she will return if I buy home. Keep in mind, this is during the pandemic when home prices in California, USA in general, skyrocketed. And then another month goes by and I get hit with custody papers filed in Puerto Rico. I filed for a parental abduction report with the local DA, and they opened a case, but they wouldn't act on it, saying they preferred we settle in court. I tried reaching out to FBI and they told me they can't help since it's not international, but if I get a court order with full custody, they would help serve the order. Part of the issue was because she created a jurisdiction issue by filing in Puerto Rico. Another part was because I okayed the initial visit, so they technically didn't consider it an abduction, which I still think is BS, because that doesn't mean she can permanently move, otherwise, everyone would use this to leave with children. I was able to hire a lawyer in Puerto Rico who specifically dealt with parental abduction cases. He was able to dismiss this case easily. I ended up filing for custody in California in one jurisdiction. Anyway, we went through mediation which took a year, and they eventually tell me a few things. My daughter has an established life in Puerto Rico. I am a stranger to my daughter. She's too young to be taken away from her mom, and it's not in the best interest of the child to be returned back to California at this time. So, they allowed her to move to Puerto Rico with my daughter. But, the mediator required my ex to travel monthly to California for a week, so I get my visitation time. If you consider the travel altogether, getting ready, leaving early for airport, flight, layover, arriving, any delays, it's about 16 to 20 hours of travel each way. She has to buy tickets for herself and my daughter. She currently drops off her daughter and flies back the following day, so she doesn't have to spend money on hotels because she has to go to work. So it's quite a burden on her, and unfortunately, on my daughter too. Now some friends and family tell me she deserves it, and daughter doesn't care as long as she has a place to sit or sleep, while others tell me it's brutal for both, and I should do what's best for my daughter. And these people are further split on the fence by telling me that I should just give up my daughter, not an option, or that I should move to Puerto Rico. That's unfair because it's a totally different culture and environment, plus I'd have to take a significant pay cut in addition to many more things. Exes to Ed texts me telling me I'm not a real man. He's the stereotypical macho manly man, but it's a fake persona. Ex started telling me she can't keep this up, and she might give up baby. She keeps asking me to allow her an easier schedule, and says she can come every 3 months. I told her 1 week, every 3 months equals 4 weeks a year. You can't seriously expect me to cut my visitation from 25% to about 7%. Edit. She can transfer back to California or get any job easily. If she transfers back to California with the same job, her salary is about $90,000 per year, so it's not like she's struggling. So am I the a-hole for digging my feet in?